Whenever I bring up an idea like installing minimally housed fusion reactors in space to, in essence, create very small stars that we can use for things like terraforming or power generation for ourselves, or even the incredibly intriguing ancillary benefit of such technology that up to fusing iron atoms together, fusion reactions give out more energy than they take. Oh, yeah, they give off energy, right? But if you want to fuse heavier elements than iron together, you need to put energy into the system to allow that to happen, right? So if you want to create things like gold, platinum, things like that, anything that's heavier than an atomic number of 52, then you need to put some energy into the system to for instance, get some gold. But the implication of this is that via engaging in harnessing nuclear fusion reactions in space, we can start creating what we can have alchemical technology almost. We can basically create unlimited supplies of whatever chemical element we'd like. If we need things like more nitrogen, more oxygen, more helium, more cesium, even, or xenon, or whatever, or anything that's above tellurium, an atomic number 52 on the periodic table, then yeah, like those are going to give off energy in addition to being able to forge heavier elements. And whenever I post videos like this online, like, haha, don't you know, like we've got a giant fusion reactor in our cosmic back neighborhood. It's called the sun. Like we just put solar panels up to harness that. It's like, well, that's very nice, isn't it? But that doesn't really help us with terraforming and everything else that I've mentioned. Also, I don't think putting solar panels in space without, also having a fusion reactor in space, perhaps like a small Dyson sphere around the fusion reactor to harness all the energy coming off the fusion reactions. Like, something tells me that with whatever amount of photovoltaics we put into space, we're going to be able to get a hell of a lot more energy from fusion reactions in space than we are from photovoltaics around our own star. So like it's just like nitpicking little fucking points. And someone, even a fusion scientist, he did say which was frankly a nitpicking point, trying to shoot the idea down in flames. Don't you know there's about 5 hydrogen atoms per cubic centimetre of space? So therefore, there's too much hydrogen contamination for a fusion reaction. It can't be done. Or could it catalyse a fusion reaction in space? Whereas after all, it had a lot more space in space, so there's a lot more room to allow a fusion reaction to dissipate over. Isn't there? And come on, think of the potential of it. Not just for the energy that we stand to derive from it, but also from the materials that we stand to derive from it, and its applicability in terraforming. And if we can terraform Mars using it, if we can melt all the ice on Mars, because I was the biggest terraforming skeptic in the world. That's the biggest skeptic terraforming Mars ever. Basically, I was like, that's never gonna happen. We don't need to go to Mars. Just leave Mars, bypass Mars. Let's go to the outer fucking solar system, and get out to Ganymede and Europa and try to find life out there. That's what I was thinking about. But I think even Elon Musk has missed this point. I don't think he actually knows about this idea. Hasn't really thought of it. I think he's sort of harnessing thermonuclear explosions in space, and setting off a hydrogen bomb in space every now and then to basically give light and heat to a planet. But a stable little star in orbit around Mars to warm it up, it could turn Mars into something like Barbados, couldn't it? And we could even crash asteroids into Mars and possibly create land there. I mean, there's all sorts of exciting things we could do with the possibility of nuclear fusion in space. I think we need to be less pessimistic as well. This unreasoned, irrational pessimism. This assumption that we're doomed and so on. The assumption that something would never work. Assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups. And we don't need more fuck-up on this planet.